How's it going, you guys? AZPlow21. First time it's been a video in a while. Appreciate you guys for joining me. Out of the Park Baseball 24. The beta is currently out right now. I believe the actual full game doesn't come out until tomorrow, I believe. But I just kind of wanted to walk you guys through this project that I kind of had going back in Out of the Park Baseball 23. And kind of let you guys see what I've been cooking up here. So again, this is something that I was doing back in Out of the Park 23 that I did get imported into this game, and I'm choosing to kind of continue the little experiment here. And that is a full promotion and relegation system within baseball in the United States and Puerto Rico, as a matter of fact. And I'll show you the various leagues, the various teams, and things like that, and some of the history of the top tier of baseball, so that way you can see kind of what's been going on. So let's go ahead and continue it here. And again, appreciate you guys as always. Not sure if I'm going to do very much Out of the Park baseball content. I know I kind of gave up on the Angels save a little bit last year. Maybe I'll do something a little bit different this year, but I do want to do some Out of the Park baseball 24 stuff. So yeah, so this is my current team, the Eugene Miners. Now, I have essentially simulated 10 full seasons in this promotion relegation system without choosing a team. And I waited until those 10 seasons were up, so that way everything's kind of balanced out. The teams are kind of essentially where they needed to be. And after those 10 seasons were up, I decided to just choose a team at the very bottom of the tier list, and choose to try to, make that team go up the rankings, go up the leagues, and that is the Eugene Miners of Eugene, Oregon. Reason I chose them is because they were in the bottom tier, and I'm a big fan of the Oregon Ducks, so Eugene Miners it is. But I will show you the amount of tiers that we have, and that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So there are 7 tiers in this American baseball system, and it all culminates with Premier League Baseball. And so let's go ahead and go to Premier League Baseball, and you can see what we've got going on here. So in Premier League Baseball, there are 20 teams. The most recent season had the Stockton Scots of Stockton, California, as the best regular season team. Columbus Keystones, El Paso Penguins, Philadelphia Maples, Baltimore Twins, Minneapolis Quakes, St. Petersburg Heroes, Indianapolis War Dogs, Washington, D.C. Salukis, San Jose Giants, which are an actual minor league team, I believe, Omaha Thundercats, Cincinnati Rush, Pittsburgh Odyssey, San Diego Fisher Cats, Kansas City Comets, Arlington Renegades, Raleigh Blizzard. And then these 3 teams with no record are the 3 teams that just recently got promoted from the tier just below this one, which is the Baseball Championship. I know it might kind of sound strange if you're American. You're like, Baseball Championship, how is that worse? In England, there is a soccer football system where the tier below the Premier League is known as the Championship. So the Baseball Championship goes right up to the Premier League. And so the teams that are joining Premier League from the championship are the Lexington Blue Wings, the Tallahassee Wolfhounds, and the Phoenix Predators, which is not a very cool sounding name, but I digress. Go down here, you can see the Chandler Samurai. It looks like they are doing pretty good for themselves, but they did not get promoted. And these are the teams that either got promoted or relegated from the Premier League or the tier below them. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 new teams in this league for the next season. The LA Red Flash, Orlando Roughnecks, Charlotte Walruses, Hialeah Players, Scottsdale Crawfish, Des Moines Avengers, and the Bakersfield Cannonballers. The tier right below this one is known as Baseball League 1. And just so that way the AI kind of simulates it correctly, and that the player interest in joining the leagues is a little bit better, I kind of set it up so the Baseball Championship is seen as AAA, League 1 AA, League 2 Single A. We have the Baseball Conference as short A, short season A ball, and then the regional leagues are both seen as independent leagues. And so we have the Baseball League One right here. You can see all the teams that are going on in the League One. You have the League Two, and then we have the Baseball Conference. Now, it's kind of a similar situation in England. Oh, sorry about that. In England, you have that soccer, that football system. After League Two in England, it goes to what's called the Conference, or I don't know if it's even called the Conference anymore, but either way, that's what I decided to call it here. But the Boise Braves, Chattanooga Clowns, some of the teams that are in here, and a lot of teams joining them for the new season. Only 20 teams in this conference, but 7 new teams for the next season. Right after that, Baseball Regional League One is the next one up, followed by Baseball Regional 2. And so with that, I'm just going to show you really quickly. Don't want this to be overly long of a video. I'm just going to show you Premier League Baseball, and we'll go over to their league history so I can kind of just show you guys what's been going on there. Charlotte Walruses were the first champions of the Premier League Baseball. They have recently gotten demoted to the championship. Philadelphia Maples, New York City Music. They are all the way down in League One, I believe. And some of these teams just be overspending to the point where they overspend on old players that end up, flaming out. And then because of that, they fall down in the standings at the end of the season and they get relegated. So you have to be very careful about the contracts that you choose to give to players, the players that you choose to sign, things like that, because one really bad contract and you can screw your team for years, get them demoted. There have been instances where teams will get demoted in consecutive seasons, and I have a big Google sheet that I can show to you guys if you would like to see it, of all those instances of, those consecutive promotions, consecutive relegations, and things like that. I believe there was a team in Jacksonville who got demoted 6 straight seasons all the way down to the Regional League 2, which is insane. Not really any dynasties to speak of. I mean, Indianapolis 1 and 2 straight years, but now they're kind of middle of the pack in the Premier League. San Jose Giants have kind of, started to look a little bit like a dynasty. You also have the El Paso Penguins was a very curious case because in their first season promoted from the championship, they actually won the Premier League, which I thought was cool. And then the Stockton Scots this year winning it all. So let's go ahead and take a look here at our teams. These are all of the teams that have played at least one season in the Premier League. And if you just take a look at the record, you can see there Tallahassee and Lexington will be making their Premier League debut this season. The Philadelphia Maples have been there the entire time. Let's see how many of these teams there are. It'd be 2022 to 2032. So we have Philadelphia, San Jose, Indianapolis. Also got Columbus. Charlotte will not be in it next year. New York City Music. Actually, no, that's actually a lie because I think it's just the first year that it was in there. So forget what I just said. The Philadelphia Maples have won the most games in Premier League Baseball history, 1,023. They only have one championship to speak of, though. However, they have made the playoffs, which is essentially just the top 2 teams at the end of the season play in a 7-game series to decide who wins the league. That's it. Keep it as simple as possible because by 162 games, if you can't figure out who the top 2 teams in the league are, sorry, Philadelphia Maples, San Jose Giants have made the playoffs the most amount of times out of anybody. Indy, you can see, in their 2 times that they've made the playoffs, won the championship. Columbus Keystones making the playoffs of this season. Charlotte Walruses, who did just get relegated, making the playoffs 3 times and winning it once. The Raleigh Blizzard, you can see there, playoffs twice, championship once. New York City Music, 1 playoff appearance, 1 championship. Baltimore Twins, 1 playoff appearance, 1 championship. Let's see, who else? We got St. Petersburg Heroes and the Baltimore Twins and the Stockton Scots. Also the El Paso Penguins in their only playoff appearance becoming the champion. Love to see it, love to see it. We have not had any players be inducted into the Hall of Fame. I'd imagine that's just because, players after 2 seasons retire. They don't have the proper stats to really prove that they deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, which would suck because there are some players earlier on that absolutely went off. So let's go ahead and see leaderboards. So in the Premier League baseball history, career batting average king is Hector Pasillas, who is currently still playing for the Omaha team. Same thing with on-base percentage. Hector Pasillas, who is 39 years old. You can see there the contact, the power, the eye ratings, all really good. Matt Day, I believe, yep, is the career leader in home runs with 442. 442 homers for Matt Day, consistently over 30 home runs a season for this guy. He's definitely going to be in the Hall of Fame for sure. Stolen bases, Ricardo Menendez, who is still currently playing, only 33 years old as well, might be in the Hall of Fame. But you can see Andrew Prater, this guy has struck out more than anybody, but he is still 5-star, which is insane. Wins above replacement career leader is Matt Day, so this guy is definitely going to be going in the Hall of Fame. The ERA, you can see career ERA 2.946 is the best, so this is not not a league, not a system that really values pitching, or that the pitching is even any good. Ben Alamon from the Philadelphia Maples, 5 stars still. Career leader in wins. Career leader in losses, Ricardo Gonzalez. 5 stars still. He is a relief pitcher now. Winning percentage of .721 for Bill McDonald. This guy, 5 stars. Absolutely killing it in his career. Strikeout leader, Ben Allman. Base on ball leader, also Ben Allman. What about saves? We got Elias Burgos, only 32, still going at it. He is surely going to have a long and fruitful career with the Philadelphia Maples. Yeah, so that's just a little bit of what I wanted to show you guys. Of course, my team is currently the Eugene Miners. I had to do some really interesting deals just to save the team, essentially, for the next couple of years and save them a lot of money. So essentially, we had a lot of really, really bad contracts that I needed to get rid of. And so you can see here, I traded our star closer, Jose Arambula, to the Baltimore Twins of the Premier League, all the way down from the Regional League 2, which is the most interesting thing that I love about this, is that players that are in like the Regional League 2, if they're good enough, they can, you know, if they're a free agent, sign to a team that's a couple of tiers above them, and teams can even trade with, you know, teams in the higher leagues, which is exactly what I did. So I traded Jose Arambula because he had an insane contract. And I also got rid of this other relief pitcher in Ruben Rivas to the Baltimore Twins, and I got $23 million in cash, just straight up in return. Now, the Baltimore Twins have absolutely a buttload of money, you know, to send over, so that wasn't an issue for them necessarily. Keep in mind, these are ratings relative to our league, to the Regional League 2. If you set that to Premier League Baseball, he's a 2-star player. But $2 million for a team like us in the Regional League 2 is like 7 years worth of, you know, budget sometimes. Because you can see there, 4-star reliever in our league, 2-star in the Premier League Baseball. You know, and so we take it back over to the other pitcher that I got rid of in Ruben Rivas, who's looks to be an absolutely insane reliever, you know, even in Premier League Baseball, 2.5-star reliever. I would like him on my team, you know, but $1,500,000 is just way too much to be paying that guy down there. And that's the reason that Eugene has probably been slipping down the tiers, is because they don't have money to pay any good players because they give out these stupid contracts. And so they just found themselves slipping down the tiers and find themselves in the lowest one. And I had to make some creative decisions to get $23 million in cash. Had to release a lot of our guys as well. Let's see, I made one other. Oh yeah, I just straight up released somebody, right? Who's the guy that I released that was super expensive? Was it this guy? No. Ryan Foster? No. I know I released one more guy that was just insanely expensive. This is from October. Oh, Luis Aquino. That's right. This guy was on like $7 million a year. And you can see 4 stars for us over here in the Regional 2. You know, Premier League Baseball, only 2 stars. Now he only wants 212,000 a year. And he's also on wrecked injury proneness. So he was on 7 million a year when he should only be making about 212,000, which is absolutely insane. Maybe I'll take a look at trying to re-sign him. I doubt he would want to, because we do have some budget left over. Let's see here, because you can see that's total money available. That's just from the trades that I made. Our budget, we have about 1,500,000 left. So there is still some money to be worked with, but we have a lot of capital now to work with, just in case our owner wants to, you know, add a little bit more to the budget. So we shall see about that. Ticket price lowered it a little bit, since we just want to get the fans out here to enjoy some Eugene Miners baseball. 16th in the lowest division, which only has 20 teams. And let's just take a quick look at the teams that we are working with in our season before I go ahead and sign off on this one. So these are the teams that got relegated from Baseball Regional League 1. The Aurora Sluggers, the Laredo Hornets, the Elk Grove Berserkers of California, the worst team in the overall league system, the Fort Lauderdale Grasshoppers, us, the Eugene Miners, the Oceanside Thundercats, the Columbus Generals, the Bayamon Voyagers of Puerto Rico. So we're going to have to make that plane trip a couple times a year. The Sunnyvale Raging Bulls, the Amarillo Silver Sabres, the Hayward Inferno, Montgomery Alligators, the Little Rock Seals, the Macon Bacon, that's just a funny name that I came up with, the Lakewood Rockets. Now this team is a very interesting one, because they have been steadily like top 5, top 6 in this bottom league for the entirety of the experiment. 10 years of nothing but top 10 ball in this league. They have not been promoted once, which is insane. The Mobile Swamp Dogs, the Lubbock Hurricanes, the San Bernardino Destroyers, the Akron Black Aces, and the Richmond Air Riders. Now, those are the teams that we will be facing in our season next season. But yeah, that's just what I got cooking for you guys. Just wanted to kind of show this to you, show you what I've been doing. Simulated 10 seasons, and there's a lot of rich history that's been going on. If you'd like to see more of it, let me know. I'm going to try to see if there's any way that I can possibly export this save, so that way you guys can get your hands on it and play with it if you would like to. But other than that, really appreciate you guys. And yeah, we'll see if I do some more out of the park baseball content. I am still looking to do another WMMA 5 save, just don't know what it's going to be yet. Appreciate you.